Greetings, my fellow hiker. Today I'm going to be sharing with you part 2 of my fantastic hike up the Dentelles de Montmirail right here in southern France. Absolutely spectacular hiking. Going to walk you through exactly what the hike was and some of my equipment and just share with you so that way maybe one day you can enjoy this fantastic hike just like I did. So before we dive in, just quick introduction. My name is Brice. I am the founder of Vaucluse Gear, a backpack hiking company that focuses predominantly on sweat. So if you don't like the sweat on your back and you want to try and mitigate sweat, we are the company that does exactly that with our cool dry frame right here, which I'm going to walk into later on in this introduction of the Dentelles de Montmirail. But first, let me just give you a brief overview of what we did. So I arrived with my wife and a very good friend of mine called Hubert. He's French, and we started on the east side of the Dentelles. Previously, I started pretty much on like the northwest side. This time I started on the east side, and we got there, we parked our car around 9:30 in the morning, and it was going to be hot, so it was going to go from 79 to 90s, and it's just going to keep going up. So we thought, okay, let's start the hike and let's just get all the way up the Dentelles, what they call the Grand Montagne. And so pretty much the first, I would say 30 minutes was just a steep incline. I'm going to share some videos of what the hike was like. It was pretty arduous. So we hiked all the way up to more or less the peak and spectacular views of the Vaucluse region. Vaucluse region is very well known for the Mont Ventoux, which I'm going to share some pictures of as well. Very famous. If you know anything about bike riding, the Tour de France, I would say maybe once every probably maybe 3-4 years they go up the Mont Ventoux. One time they went up it twice. It's a spectacular mountain in this region, and it's pretty much, you could say, the start of the Alps. It's the highest peak in this region. Before that, it's completely flat, and then right after it is just hills that become bigger hills, mountains, you could say, and then massive, the Alps. So you get a spectacular view, and we just hiked the southern side of the, I think it's called the Grand Dentelles. I'm going to pop it up right here in the on the video so you can see we hiked the southern side of it. Shockingly, well, maybe not shockingly, I'm not an expert in weather, but there really wasn't a lot of wind because we're on the south side, and so it was very, very just no wind whatsoever. So a lot of sweating. Again, I'm going to share with you my pack in a second, which actually helped my friend Hubert a whole lot before he had his back completely drenched. And then this pack, my equipment, actually helped him have a completely dry back where the equipment was. So we hiked the southern side, and then we went down to the other ridge. So there's one massive ridge, you could say, and then there's right south of it is the Dentelles Sarrasines. And so we went down, and then that was very, I would recommend that to anybody as their first, if you've never hiked here before and you don't want something too strenuous and you just want to enjoy the views, you really want to hike this southern ridge, because you have several different options. You can take like a high trail, a medium trail, or a low trail, depending on how high you want to go up. But for the most part, you have spectacular views of the entire region. So overall, we did, I believe we did like 1,000 feet up, which definitely caused us to sweat. 4.5 miles, looking at my notes right here. Overall elapsed time, 3.5 hours. We paused. You don't know how long you pause until you're tracking yourself, but we actually paused for an hour. So we had a few stops. Total elevation that we hiked, both up and down, 1,400 feet. Calories seem like a whole lot more. And so the sweat check that really is the interesting part, and I'll put some pictures up, is we have this cool dry frame. So this is an Osprey backpack. It's the Talon 22, and what you simply do, and you can pick any backpack that you want, you take this frame, which this is the Vaucluse gear cool dry frame, and you attach it to your backpack. And what it does is, like this backpack has what they call the air escape. And so, but what I find with these types of backpacks is that obviously heat goes up and it's trying to evaporate, but because this thing is curved onto your back, the heat really doesn't go anywhere, and so you just sweat regardless. I mean, maybe a little bit of breeze goes through, or the backpack completely soaks it up, and so your backpack is pretty much a sponge for your sweat. But what this does is it just allows the air to flow, and it really helps. So this is what Hubert used, so you can see the before and the after pictures of what his back looked like, and it really made a difference in his hiking. And I'm going to end this video with his review of his experience of wearing the pack, and how he enjoyed hiking the Dentelles de Montmirail with it. So with that said, thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate you reviewing the Dentelles de Montmirail with me. Happy trails, and look forward to seeing you on a trail. Bye.
Hello, I'm Hubert. I've just hiked in the Dentelles de Montmirail in France. It's very beautiful, but you can hear perhaps the cicadas. It's very hot today here, more over 30 degrees centigrade. And I've just tried a new invention here. It's a kind of grid on the backpack, and it allows the air to go through it, and so we won't sweat into the shirt, and it's much more comfortable, and I recommend it to you. It's really a good thing. It's all right, and I'm really convinced it's a good invention. So good hikes to everybody, and give it a try.